You can't succeed without a mentor, and a bad mentor is going to cost you a lot of money and ruin your business. Welcome, everyone. JobNimbus knows that you are great at your trade. We want to help you be really great at running your business too. So we're all about building your business, creating something that is lasting, that can go beyond just the day-to-day. And I'm here today with Dimitri from Roofing Insights. Welcome. And I'm Ben Hodson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of JobNimbus. And today we want to talk a little bit about the power of having a mentor. Do you have a mentor, Dimitri?
I have several mentors. I have mentor in fitness. I have mentor in sales. Rodney Webb is my mentor in sales. A lot of people in construction industry know Rodney Webb. Changed my ways, changed everything I do. Met him 6 years ago, chased him everywhere at as many events as I possibly could because I knew that he was the first real mentor that I found that truly transformed my business. I knew he took a couple companies from $3-4 million to 50 plus. And when you have someone with a track record, you want to make sure you chase them. You need them more than they need you. So a lot of people in the industry now, mentorship is becoming a product. So a lot of people, getting in the space, selling courses, selling packages, selling mentorship packages. And I would start with be careful who you hire, because now, like before that, it was more on a friendly note. I mean, your time worth something, so I have no problem paying for mentorship, but you have to be careful. You have to analyze who and how much you're paying and for what, because I see a lot of guys making mistakes. Hiring mentors, like
how can you tell if somebody's a legit mentor then? Because if there's so much noise out there, how do you size them up?
So I would say this, look at their job history, where they're successful. I mean, we don't want to take financial advice from broke person. Just because someone have Ferrari doesn't mean that he actually have it. He might be renting it. So look at his job history, but also, is he relevant today? Because our world changes like crazy. I actually have mentors who's trying to sell their stuff, sell their books. I just did a post last week. This guy sells his book for $150. He was successful 10, 15 years ago, but today it's outdated. It's not the real, exactly.
Content, yeah.
So just what's happening is business owners, when they go out of business, they get used to money, right? So you were selling millions and you feel like you can teach. So I come to you and it's like, hey, Ben, for $10,000, I can come to you. And then I come to you and I give you bad advice. That's not going to, because what I did 10 years ago doesn't work today anymore. So number one, make sure that they would be successful today. Because if they've been in business a long time ago, it doesn't mean that they can be successful.
They might not have changed with the trends.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another big thing for me is personality check. There's so many different guys out there. Like, I'll give you an example, Grant Cardone and Gary Vee. One is a giver, another one is taker. And I say it in a respectful way. So I am a guy I call myself inbound guy. So I'm not aggressive. I don't do cold calls. I don't do door knocking, right? Grant Cardone would. Yeah. So don't follow guys if you don't agree with their methods or if their personality does not match your personality. Grant Cardone could be great mentor for aggressive salesperson, aggressive business owner. Would be horrible for me because I will never do it. You will not do it. If you don't agree with person, with his personality, it doesn't matter how much you pay him, you're not gonna do what he's teaching you.
Your culture and your values with them.
And it's very important. Like the reason Rodney Webb helped me and helped so many businesses because he teaches discipline. It's hard work. There's no blue pill like take this pill and now all the problems solved. And if you're a disciplined business owner, if you're conservative, you're going to take it and it's going to transform it. But I've seen people leaving his trainings, like literally walking out of the room when he asked them to do something because it was too hard. A lot of people will not role play. They just, no, I'm not doing this. I'm too good.
Yep.
So you want to make sure your personality matches your mentor's personality. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. And I hear stories all the time. People pay $15,000 and then come and complain like, oh, that guy did not do anything. And
it didn't help us at all.
Exactly. And we pay like $15,000, $25,000 for his program. Well, maybe because his ways are not your ways. Like Belfort, you know, he has his ways. But Gary Vee, he's influencer. He likes to put content for free and get business when you call him. I'm a Gary Vee guy. Gary Vee will.
He's an inbound type guy.
Exactly. So understand your personality and make sure when you look for mentor, you're not going to go head to head, because if you don't agree with mentor, there's nothing worse than that. You definitely don't want to fight mentor that you're paying top dollars to, because good mentor usually going to cost you some money, and if you don't agree with the basic principles, like if you're aggressive, you're a nice guy, vice versa, you're going to be one of those guys. He probably not going to make changes to your business. So
who should have a mentor?
I think everyone should have a mentor. I mean, in any business, you're going to have people who are way ahead of you. It's like school. Unfortunately, there's a popular opinion like we don't have to go to school anymore, but mentors are best teachers in a school. Like, you know, if you go to school,
that was where I met my first mentors, actually, at University of Washington.
Yeah, so you're gonna have good teachers and bad teachers. Some of them are a waste of time, and some of them are real like nuggets. And going to school sometimes works because you will make those connections.
It can change your whole life trajectory if you meet the right one.
Yep. So I came to this country in 2005, and I never went to school here, but I went to every conference. I spent about $25,000 a year going to conferences.
Wow.
And within 2-3 days, you will meet people who will change that lane that you're trying to get to. Like, for example, Marcus Sheridan, my marketing mentor. I met him at Content Marketing World. So within 2 days.
How'd you meet?
At conference, he was doing breakout session. So
but you're a pretty aggressive guy. You're going out just shaking hands, meeting people, saying hi.
You attending seminars. Like
so he was speaking?
Yep. So he was speaking. Like, it was 4-hour breakout session.
Yep.
And I just attended. You know, and then next thing you know, 2 years later, you know, he's coming to our conference. He's changing my business. I actually hired Marcus Sheridan, and it was, you know, expensive. He came with the 3 guys to my business, and they showed us video stuff, how to use content marketing in construction business and my roofing business. So
why should you have a mentor? Everybody should have one. Why should they?
Do you want to go get there faster? Or, I mean, listen, if you, like, I'll give you an example, QuickBooks. Can you learn QuickBooks? Yes. Would you rather learn QuickBooks in 3 weeks by yourself, or in 3 days with the best mentor who will teach you QuickBooks?
And it's probably more like 3 years for QuickBooks to learn everything.
Exactly. You can do it yourself, and a lot of guys are trying to do it yourself. It's a shortcut. You still have to put the work. You're going to do the work, not them. A lot of people make this mistake. Oh, I'm going to hire this guy. He's going to fix all my problems. No, he's going to show you how, but you're going to do it yourself. But if you don't want to learn, you know, like JobNimbus or any CRM can be hard. I would rather pay someone a couple $1,000s to teach me and my team how to use JobNimbus efficiently than trying to spend a year or two to do it myself.
Yeah.
So in every area of your life, I have a student now in our school. He just paid $5,000 for Facebook marketing course, and he's already having leads. He's like, yep, I have 7 leads this week.
So that just paid for every dollar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's worth to pay because, well, it's a shortcut. We live in a world where everything changes so fast. Google changes, Facebook changes. I mean, updates like daily. If you hire me to do your YouTube channel, I mean, I'll give you results that it will take you 3 years to get in, give me 3 weeks. Because I've been doing YouTube for 3-4 years. I could be a good mentor for YouTube production, and I need mentors in other areas myself.
And do you still have a mentor today?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, so I hire people.
But you're so successful. Haven't you figured it all out yet?
It never ends. It never ends because everything changes. Like YouTube alone, I mean, you're talking about billion-dollar companies. YouTube has what? You know, thousands and thousands of employees whose job every day to make updates. So yeah, I have 40,000 subs and someone has 4 million. You know, I actually met Mr. Beast a year ago, the guy who every video he posts gets millions of views. Not a single video less than million. I think he just did a video 15 million views
Really?
within the first
Wow.
2 days. So when you hear him speak for 45 minutes on a stage, and when he shares how he does it and his principles, attention to details and everything, you go like, boom, I don't know nothing. I mean, people think I know something. Like, I humble myself because there's always someone who is way ahead of you, and you just need to shut up, humble yourself, take some notes, and that's the way you're going to get better.
I think it's interesting though, because really what you're talking about, like to build your business, when you're building businesses, it's about wanting to level up. Like you have to want to level up, and then you find people that can get you to that next level,
I would
right?
say you're never good enough. You're never good
Yep.
enough. I don't care if you're athlete. I mean, if you're Steve Curry, right? I mean, you're good, you know, but can you be better? I mean, you look at LeBron James, 15 years, whatever. Look at him now versus 10 years ago. He is mentor, coach, whatever. Like, look how much professional athletes spend on their development, because you're never too good, never. And especially in business, there's always someone who's going to do it better. There's always better way in some way or form. That's why companies like Apple, Nike, they hire mentors. They hire influencers coming to their businesses,
that's true.
changing stuff. It never ends. And they're like the biggest companies out there. Why do they do it? You're never too big to fail, and you're never good enough.
So first step is everybody needs a mentor. Second step is size up your mentor by finding out if they match your values and culture and what you're trying to accomplish. And secondly, are they in the game? Are they actually doing it, or is the content dated? So find somebody who's actually having success or recently had success to pull from for your mentor.
Absolutely. You have to interview mentors just like you interview someone to work for you. It's a job interview. Just because they want to sell you something for $10,000, $15,000 doesn't mean that you should hire them. They might be aggressive too. You know, I see a few mentors in construction industry who you can't talk like this. You want to ask them advice, and they're like, nope, you have to sign. Like, they would not give
It's
you
like
advice.
a one-way.
Yes. So it's all about them. A good mentor will have your success as a top priority. It's not about his revenue, because, like I said, it also becomes a business and profitable business. But you have to be careful who you hire, because it's easy to get burned.
One of the things that you said earlier that was really interesting is that mentor doesn't do it for you. They just show you or tell you how to do it better. I've seen that be a problem where, like, I just want somebody to run my business for me. Like, well, then why are you there? You know, like, you are the one building the business. You need to be running it. You just need some help there. So when you're working with a mentor on like a weekly, daily, monthly basis, how do you find that balance? Do you have to hold yourself accountable? Or?
Absolutely. You have to set up expectations, and you need to understand what you're paying for. You're paying for a roadmap. Your mentor is not your employee. It's not part of your team. He is mentor. He is there to guide you, and that's it. And a lot of guys, they make this mistake because they pay so much money. They think that magic will happen by itself. Or I paid $10,000 for this Facebook course. Now I'm going to be #1 on Facebook in my town. No, you won't. He's going to teach you how, but you have to go and create ads every single day. Right? It's the same as playing basketball game. You know, you can teach
practice
me how to
the same motion and
exactly,
the same shot.
You know, as a coach, and what's amazing to me in sports, I do powerlifting now. I do CrossFit and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And when you see powerlifters who've been doing, you know, Olympic weightlifter champions, and you always see coach next to them saying, look, that bar was a little bit too high, get this, like, you're not warm enough. Like, our biggest problem is sometimes we're not warm enough. Sometimes we don't see ourselves from the side. Coach will see you and will tell you exactly what you need. I have a lot of guys who ask me for advice, and I tell them, like, no, you don't need that now. You don't need $15 million business now. Focus on 12. Sometimes mentor will tell you what not to do. And, you know, just, he will be honest with you, but you have to listen and be honest with yourself. Because so many guys, I'm telling you, they hire mentors, they don't want to listen, or they just want them to do the work.
Then it's a waste of money.
it is a waste of money because mentor is not your employee. I mean, that's the biggest advice I can give. Don't hire a mentor as an employee or part of your team. He's not part of your team.
He's not the consultant that you're handing off
No.
work to.
He will help you, but
Yep.
he will help you to become better. That athlete have to do all the work.
That's right.
It's every day 2 hours you do the work, but that coach will tell him about technique, and when you get technique better, you'll lift heavier. But without mentor, you're not going to get there. Hard work is just not enough.
Yeah, it's great. I love the weightlifting thing because you think about it, form is everything in weightlifting, right?
Yes,
So
100%.
that's the mentor teaching you form, but you got to do the lift. They don't go do the lift. You put the plates on,
Exactly.
you lift it, you know. What happens if it's not going well with a mentor? Like things are not like you're not getting results. How do you diagnose that situation?
Listen, marriages fail 50% of the time. Business partnership fail even more often.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to end it.
Yep.
You know, if your marriage is not working, sometimes divorce, and I hate divorce, but sometimes you just have to part ways. There's no reason to keep paying employee who's not producing. There's no reason to keep paying mentor who's not getting you nowhere. You know, stop the bleeding. And
I saw a video the other night that was a big group of longtime managers and business owners, and they asked the question, everybody raise your hand who's fired somebody too soon. And I think there was one hand that went up out of like 500 people. And then they said, who's waited too long to fire?
Exactly.
And every single hand went up, you know. So if it's not working, address it, have a really direct conversation, and then if that doesn't fix it, it's time to move on.
I would say this: good mentor will fire you first. Like if you come
okay.
to me, if you want to pay me, like I don't want your money if you're not willing to do the work.
Because if you're not getting results with them, I don't want them as a client either,
Exactly.
right?
That's what Rodney Webb does. I met so many people who Rodney Webb fired. He's like, I remember it was a company down south. They just have a storm, and he was about to come and teach them, and they would not get in the room because it was storm. It was hot. They were going to go and sell. That was more important to them. So he called them and said, listen, if you don't get all your sales guys right now in the room, I'm firing you. I will not come to your business ever again. And that's
Did
how
they do it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
the thing
bold.
is, but you have to do it. Like the same with me. Like if you pay me money and you're not doing it, I don't want your money. I tell my students all the time, don't enroll, don't come. If you're not willing to do the work, I don't. And good mentor will fire you. You don't need to fire him. He will fire you. Only bad marketers who all about themselves, selfish,
Yep.
will keep draining you.
Yep. Thanks, Dimitri. If you have a mentor, we want to hear about it. In the comments, put in who your mentor was and how they sort of changed your life and changed your business.